Hey everybody, this is Mr. Ekstrom, and today we're going to look at an example from section 7.4. And here it says the expression, it's 1 over 1 minus sine of theta plus 1 over 1 plus sine of theta simplifies to which of the following? And they gave us some expressions down there, but I want to see if we can just kind of simplify this, change this from two terms into one term, and see what we can get from it. So we're going to kind of treat this like the sine of theta was just a regular variable, and see what we can kind of change this into. So let's kind of do this over to the side here. Pretend this was 1 minus x. This was plus 1 over 1 plus x. What could we go ahead and do with this? Well, what we would be looking to do is we'd be looking to get a common denominator between 1 minus x and 1 plus x. And what that common denominator would look like would be 1 minus x times 1 plus x. So we've done this before in pre-calculus algebra. So on the left side here, we just do it 1 plus x over 1 plus x. And on the left side here, we would just do the 1 minus x all over 1 minus x. All right, and then on the left-hand side here, we're going to get 1 plus x over 1 plus x over 1 minus x. Oops. 1 minus x. And on the right-hand side, we're just going to get kind of a 1 minus x all over 1 plus x times a 1 minus x. So just kind of using a variable to show you what would happen. This is what would happen. So we're going to do kind of the same thing over here. So doing the same thing, that's what we're going to get. So on the top, we're going to get this 1 plus x plus a 1 minus x. So we're going to get a 1 plus the sine of theta. So we're going to get a 1 plus the sine of theta. Plus a 1 minus the sine of theta, plus a 1 minus the sine of theta, all over, and we're going to have a common denominator there. And we can go ahead and multiply that out as well. So this is just the difference of squares there. So this is going to be 1 squared minus sine squared of theta, right? So this is going to be 1 minus sine squared of theta. All right, so this is what this is going to turn into, and I kind of use this as a guide there, right? Because I just combine these two fractions together. And this is what I'm going to get over here. Now, this is going to cancel out with this. The two ones are going to cancel out, so I'm going to end up getting 2 over, and then the 1 minus sine squared of theta is equal to cosine squared of theta. And let's see why that's true. Cosine squared of theta. Well, you might not have seen that before, but I know, let me do this off to the side. I know sine squared of theta plus cosine squared of theta is equal to 1. So if I were to subtract sine squared of theta from both sides, I would get that, let me do that a little bit nicer. I would get cosine squared of theta is equal to 1 minus sine squared of theta. So this is just a little off to the side here. Therefore, I can replace 1 minus sine squared of theta with cosine squared of theta. And 2 over cosine squared of theta is really just equal to 2 times secant squared of theta. Secant squared of theta. Right? Because that's really, and if you're having kind of trouble with that, because that's really just 2 times 1 over cosine squared of theta, and 1 over cosine squared of theta is secant squared of theta. All right, so this is what that whole thing is equal to. So we should have some option down there that says 2 secant squared of theta. So 2 secant squared of theta is also equal to this whole big thing there. Pretty cool, huh? All right, if you have any questions, let me know, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thanks so much.